I was 19 when I experienced an extraordinary shift in consciousness that created in me an exquisite sensitivity and acute psychic perceptiveness that changed the way in which I apprehend reality. This altered state brought me into contact with the psychiatric fraternity, a relationship that was marked more by black comedy than any insight demonstrated by the psychiatric establishment into the workings and nature of the human psyche. So at 19, I was living in Birmingham as a psychiatric patient. I was labelled with paranoid schizophrenia and told I must take antipsychotic drugs for the rest of my life. I do not fear so-called schizophrenia. In fact, to the contrary, I embrace it as a natural, integral and vital part of my personal evolution. I do, however, fear its consequence, psychiatric intervention. And paradoxically, it's the threat of intervention that persuades me to keep taking the tablets.
Smarties people are happy people. They smile all the time because they're feeling fine. Because it's Smarties time. What a luck I've got, Smarties.
Come on, lad, stop messing me about. Oh, no, for God's sake, don't start taking your clothes off again. What? Who said go naked before the Lord? Well, you're not going before the Lord now, pal. You're going up before the beak, you are. And that's Professor Punch to you, Sonny Jim. Ah, good evening, all. Yeah, you stay right where you are, and no nutty business, mind. Professor Punch! Professor Punch, special delivery for you, sir. Ah, if you'd just like to sign my truncheon voucher, I'll, well, whenever. Thank you.
Once was a man named Oedipus Rex. You might have heard about his odd complex. His name appears in Freud's index 'cause he loved his mother. Ah, yes. I am the eminent Professor Oedipus Punch, the doyen of dementia, bain of the barmy, Professor Punch, OD, MG, ECT, GBH, SOD, GOD, Cert, Psych, etc., etc. Fellow of the Royal College of Phony Physicians. And you are?
My name's Aidan.
Aidan.
Aidan, actually.
A-M-O-N. Now, I am going to give you what we call a reality test. Do you experience any thoughts that one might consider, unusual?
Yeah, all the time, actually.
And can you give me an example of one of your unusual thoughts?
Well, dare I say I think you're a puppet?
Deliberatively disordered dementia praecox. Do you hear a voice in your head?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. And what does this voice say to you?
He's asking me if I hear a voice in me head.
Uh-huh. Auditory aberrational abnormality. Do you ever feel you are being watched?
I'm being watched now, aren't I?
By whom?
By all them people out there.
Profound propensity for paranoia. And do you ever think you might be more important than you are?
Well, forgive me for saying so, but I'm just as important as you, aren't I?
Aggressively grandiose self-glorification. Have you ever seen anything that is not there in reality?
I thought I saw something move behind that mirror.
Uh-huh. Definitive delusional delirium. Do you ever think that someone is trying to control your behaviour?
Oh, yes I do, standing here. Yeah, don't you?
Persecutory puppetroid preoccupations? Now, I'd like you to peel this orange for me.
Why can't you peel it yourself?
Just do as I ask.
Give us a knife then.
Oh, dear. Seriously sinister psychopathic personality. Now, tell me, what do you see here?
I see a butterfly.
Flippity-gibbety perceptual peculiarities. Have you ever noticed an excessive loss of hair?
What the bloody hell has that got to do with anything?
Ooh! Abdominal alla paraplegic affective defolliculophasia. Now then, let us see. What do we have here then? Deliberatively disorder syndrome, auditory aberration abnormality, profound propensity for paranoia, aggressively grandiose self-glorification, definitive delusional delirium, persecutory puppetroid preoccupations, seriously sinister psychopathic personality, flippity-gibbety perceptual peculiarities, abdominal alla paraplegic affective defolliculophasia, itis, and bald as a barmy billiard ball. I hereby certify you 100% bonkers. That's the way to do it. Now follow me, young man. Amen.
April 1998. I'd sent the doctor packing. He'd called to the house to determine whether or not he felt I required psychiatric treatment. I'd withdrawn from neuroleptic drugs. I'd been prescribed for years a thing called haloperidol, which was causing intolerable side effects, was on the verge of causing tardive dyskinesia, which is uncontrollable and irreversible movements of the neck, face, tongue, hands, limbs. Now I was resisting psychiatric intervention and experiencing cold turkey. Soon after, I heard them hammering on the back door. Mr. Shingler, open up. I wasn't going to let them in. Then I heard the sound of wood splintering as the door was prized off its hinges. They charged in, 4 police officers, a team of paramedics, social workers, and a psychiatrist. The police escorted me to the institution. As I walked across the forecourt to enter the hospital, a surveillance camera tracked my movements. I was shown to an examination room where my physical and mental state was tested and assessed. I was asked if I was psychic, if I experienced voices and visions. I replied yes. 6 pink pills were placed in the palm of my hands. Haloperidol, 60 milligrams. I was instructed to swallow. I was ushered to a hospital bed. The bed sheets were indelibly stamped with the words, Health Authority. Thus began a period of 8 weeks incarceration under Section 3 of the Mental Health Act.
Medication time! La 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 la. Form an orderly queue.
Form an orderly queue. There's only one of me.
That's not the point. How can I give you your medication if you're not in the queue? Patients first. Operational policy. Now open wide, Eamon.
My name's not Eamon. It's Aidan, actually.
No, your name is Eamon, dear. It says so here. Now open wide.
Well, don't want your templates, thank you very much.
Of course you do, you little monkey. Now come on, be a good boy and open your mouth. Oh, yes, you will. Oh, yes, you will. You will, you will. Oh, I don't know how to do it. I'll get Professor Punch. Professor Punch! Professor Punch!
What seems to be the problem?
Well, as you so rightly say, Professor Sir, it's patients first. And I've tried to give young Eamon his tablets, and he simply refuses to open his mouth.
Oh, now have no fear. Professor Punch is here. Won't take your medication, eh? I have the answer. Bend over.
No, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Get off me! Get off me! Get off me! If you're going to crucify me, you can turn me over, you bastard!
Just a little prick. Just a little prick.
Ow!
That's the way to do it.
Right, Eamon. We've had our medication now. There's a good boy. Shall we get into bed and have a nice little sleep? We'll feel so much better in the morning, won't we? There.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dream that you dare to dream really can come true.
I attempted to orientate myself to a hostile and alien environment. I was placed on 10-minute obs, which basically meant that my movements and behaviour were recorded around the clock at 10-minute intervals. My sleep was intermittently and regularly broken by a shadowy figure that would enter the ward and shine a torch directly in my face. The shabby day room was a place where friendships were formed between fellow inmates. A deep sense of connection existed between us in the face of adversity, a gallows humour prevailed. Some of my fellow inmates had marks the size of old pennies, black bruises, seared into their temples. These marks were caused by the terminals that were attached via the high voltage current to their temples. I learned that those undergoing such treatment were often forced to do so. In that first week, I witnessed 3 of my fellow compatriots being dragged to the isolation room to be forcibly injected. The ECT suite, they called it, was situated on the centre of the ward. Also on the ward was an observation room in which a 2-way mirror was installed. Medication time was heralded by the rattle of pill bottles as a drug dispenser was routinely wheeled through the ward. We were rounded up and regimented into queues to receive our prescribed dosage 4 times a day, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, ending at 8 o'clock at night.
Medication time!
La 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 la. It's morning. Form an orderly queue. Well, he's out for the count. Won't need these this morning. Right, who's next? Yes, Judy. Judy? Judy? Judy, come on now, dear. Shall we take our tablets? Now come along, dear. Open wide. There, all gone. Oh, there's a good girl. Wish we had more like you. You're a pleasure to look after, you are. Not like that other little monkey we won't mention.
Oh, I do feel awful. I feel terribly low. I think it must be these tablets that they keep giving me. I wish I had somebody to talk to. I really need a friend right now. Excuse me? Hello? Hello? Please? Please wake up. Please wake up. I need somebody to talk to, please. Oh, please wake up. Oh dear, I'm feeling even worse now.
Oh, whatever's going on in there? What a rumpus. Now, whatever's going on? Oh, it's you, my little sausage. Whatever is the matter? Oh, shush. Come on. You've had your tablets, so you should be feeling a lot better. There. Tell Nursey what's the matter.
Well, I don't know,
You
really.
don't know?
No, I don't. I just feel terribly low ever since I took those tablets that you
Well,
gave
it can't
me.
be those, can it? They make you feel better, you see, dear.
Please, nurse, can't you help me?
Of course I can help you. Well, just have a nice little lie down. There. Oh, there. Right, off I go. Oh, no, Judy, no, down you go, dear, down you go. Oh, there we are. No, Judy, lie down, dear, there. Right. Oh, Judy, no, Judy, come on now, please, come on, Judy, lie down, please. Come on, Judy, please lie down. Come on, we'll have a nice little rest and then we'll feel a lot better. Oh, it's no good. I don't know how to do it. I'll get Professor Punch. Professor Punch!
What seems to be the problem?
Well, it's that Judy. She says she feels a little low.
A little low?
Yes, a little low.
Would you say she's depressed?
Yes, depressed. She says she thinks it's the medication. Dear, 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 dear.
Oh, so the patient thinks it's the medication.
Yes.
That's her expert diagnosis, is it then, eh?
It is.
It is I, Professor Punch, who has the answer. I am the one who knows how to put the spark back into her life. Nurse, take the patient to the chamber. Inform me when she has been prepared for the procedure.
Now then, dear, come along, dear. I want you to come along with me.
Where to?
Well, it's not somewhere over the rainbow. I'm going to take you somewhere to perk you up.
I'm frightened. I don't want to
It'll
go.
lift your spirits. It'll give you a boost.
I'd sooner stay here if you don't mind.
No, now, dear, come along. Come along, dear. No, come on. Now, Doctor knows best. Judy, come on, dear. It's for your own good. Come on now, come on. Don't you want to get better?
By the end of that first week in the institution, I felt that every mirror was a two-way mirror. It's the nature of the illusion. I felt eyes were looking at me everywhere. I felt threatened by the imminence of being forcibly drugged. I also feared that my brain was to be wired up and electrocuted, and that I was next in line. I perceived the institution as a Nazi concentration camp and the staff as camp guards. I was also incensed at the inhumanity of a system that was cruelly failing my compatriots and myself at a time when our vulnerability and volatility should have been cradled and protected. It was at this point that the head of the psychiatric department analysed me and insisted I take the drugs. I inquired, why? He said, because I think you are ill. At this point, clinically induced paranoia and fury collided, and I lashed out and punched the psychiatrist in the face. Immediately, 8 or so psychiatric staff descended upon me. I was put in headlocks, arm locks. Pain compliance techniques were implemented, which basically means they bend back your fingers so you submit to the will. I was marched down a corridor and thrust into a cell. I was stripped naked and injections were inserted into my arse. I was injected with a massive dose of neuroleptic drugs and left to recede into unconsciousness, utterly alone, terrified and traumatized as the cell door was bolted behind me. Medication time.
La 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 tra la 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 la. Trust in me, we'll make you better with ECT. Trust in me, we'll brighten up your world with electricity. Yes, that's right. Yep. The patient's ready for you now, Professor.
Oh, my voluptuous voltages. You want me to give her more? 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 Yes, you okay very well, my babies. More, then. Daddy will turn it up, then. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up! Now for the memory test. How many fingers do you see?
2.
Now? And now? And now? Now? And now? And now? And now? And now, listen carefully. How many fingers do you remember seeing?
Can't remember. 2.
Are you still depressed, my dear?
I can't remember.
The procedure has worked. That's the way to do it!
Indelibly stamped upon my memory, not least of all because my humour was strangely unappreciated, was a presentation I was invited to give to a gathering of psychiatrists, at which I posed the following question: what is the difference between God and a psychiatrist? Answer: God does not believe he's a psychiatrist. Psychiatry is a shameful history, and deplorably and lamentably it's carried many aspects of that past into the present. In the battle to rid the world of states of consciousness that dare to stray beyond the bounds of possibility, psychiatry imposes incarceration, physical restraints, electroconvulsive treatment, forced drugging, psychosurgery, the modern day term for lobotomy and lobotomy, and brainwashing, all of which demonstrates the defectiveness of psychiatric treatment rather than the effectiveness. Do we truly want to live in a sanitized world?
God, Judy, you look shocking.
Form an orderly queue.
Judy's not well enough to form any sort of a queue.
Oh, well, I'll have to give her her tablets where she is then. Come on now. Come on, open wide, Judy. There we are, dear. There. Right, Eamon. Your turn. Open wide.
My name's not Aidan, it's Aidan, actually.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is.
Open wide, Eamon.
Your kind offer is very much appreciated, but I'd really rather not if it's all the same to you. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
Now, you know what happens to naughty boys, don't you? Eamon, open wide. There. Now that's the way to do it. Ooh, I'm as pleased as Punch. Sweet dreams.
Oh, surely there must be a better way to do it. Oh, sweet dreams. That's a laugh. Oh, well. Oh, this is hopeless. I can't sleep. Even stuffed to the eyeballs full of major tranquilizers. I'll try singing myself to sleep. What was that lullaby that Judy sang me? It was lovely. Something over the rainbow. Something over the rainbow. Something over the rainbow. I don't know. Judy! Judy! I don't suppose you can remember to the words of that lullaby, can you, Judy? That's the one, Judy.
Somewhere.
You can do it.
Somewhere over the... Somewhere.
Oh, Judy.
Somewhere.
Judy.
Oh, why can't I remember it?
Shush, Judy.
Oh.
Judy, shush. Judy, if you don't stop crying, the nurse will come in and God forbid she'll call for Professor Punch.
Oh, what's wrong, Judy?
Just remember electricity. I can't remember my lullaby.
You can't remember?
How can I remember my lullaby?
Oh dear, I don't know how to do it, but I do know a man who does. Professor Punch! Professor Punch!
What seems to be the problem?
It's that Judy. She says she can't remember her lullaby. She thinks she's lost her memory. She says she thinks it's the procedure. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh. So, you think you've lost your memory, eh?
Look, she's all right, really. She's just forgotten the words to a song.
A clear indication of Korsatov's accelerative ataxid amnesioid atrophysiosomatic abreaction, to which I, Professor Punch, have the answer. We'll take a little peep inside, shall we? Then we shall extract the problem once and for all. Nurse? Nurse! Prepare the patient for the final procedure. Inform me when all is in readiness.
Now then, dear, come along with me. Come on. There. Come along, dear. Come on. Doctor knows best. It is for your own good. It's the only way you'll get better.
I'd rather have a full bottle in front of me than a full frontal lobotomy.
Human rights violations are endemic and epidemic within and throughout the psychiatric system. Often psychiatric treatment is more akin to state-sanctioned torture than it is to compassionate and sensitive care. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights states no one should be subjected to torture or to cruel or inhumane treatment or punishment. The needles that are forced deep into the buttocks of those who are dragged to the isolation room, stripped naked and plunged into unconsciousness, pierced not only the flesh of its victims, but also their hearts, hearts that bleed long after the elastoplast have been removed. And for the countless individuals that do not survive psychiatric assault, I point out fatalities are not uncommon. An epitaph awaits. Rest in pieces.
You won't feel a single thing, my sweet. Now count to 10, my dear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
The term mental health implies that our emotional well-being is determined by mental faculties or processes located in and confined to the brain, somehow isolated or disconnected from the rest of our being, like a walnut rattling around the cave of our skulls. Is this not the true schism, the split that the clinicians have made themselves, the severing of mind from spirit? The term mental health also evokes the converse, mental unhealthiness, which quite frankly reeks of disinfectant. The term psychosis is defined in the Oxford Companion to the Mind as the misapprehension and misinterpretation of the nature of reality. Well, forgive my naivety, but I was unaware that there was a correct way to apprehend and interpret reality. More to the point, I was unaware that there was any consensus, let alone certainty, regarding the nature of reality at all. One can see why psychiatry has created the classification of psychosis. For a psychiatrist were to validate the testimonies of those who have experienced the multidimensional nature of reality, unusual states of consciousness, this would in turn invalidate psychiatry's reality, and by its own rules and definitions, psychiatry would have to certify itself psychotic. The term psyche is defined in the Oxford English Dictionary as mind, spirit, soul, life, breath, love. Love personified as having butterfly wings, a butterfly.
Something over the rainbow. Something over the rainbow. Something over the rainbow. I don't know. Oh, I wonder if Judy can remember now. Judy? Judy? Can you... Judy's gone! The bastards!
Medication time!
La 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 la. Form an orderly queue.
Where's Judy?
In the land of Oz, wherever that is.
Where is she?
Oh, well, if you must know, she has a new care plan. She's gone to where she'll be looked after. Now that's enough of your questions, Eamon. Now open wide.
No, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will, you scamp.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will.
Oh, no, I won't.
You will, you will, you will.
I won't, I won't, I won't. Those are horrible pills. This is an horrible place. Professor Punch is an horrible bloke, and you are a horrible woman.
May! Professor Punch! Professor Punch!
Whatever seems to be the problem?
It's that Eamon. He's paranoid again. He's behaving very aggressively. And he says Judy's not there. And he says I'm horrible.
Oh. So, you are experiencing paranoia, are you, Eamon?
No, I'm not.
Well, it sounds to me like you are. You're certainly not compliant, are you, Eamon?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Have you forgotten why you are here, Eamon? Well, let me remind you. Deliberative disorder syndrome,
shut
auditory aberration
Shut
abnormality,
it.
profound propensity
shut
paranoia,
it.
aggressively
Shut your
grandiose
face.
self-glorification, definitive
your
delusional
face.
delirium, persecutory
Shut
preparatory
it,
preoccupations.
you pompous plonker!
And seriously sinister psychopathic personality.
Sorry, mate. You got it back to front, inside out and upside down. It's not me who's a psychopath. You are.
Seriously? sinister psychopathic personality, for which there is only one answer. Now bend over!
If you can catch it, you can kiss it.
Professor!
Now, that's the way to do it!
Valentine's Day 2005. The culmination of 2 years planning and preparation came to fruition when 300 survivors of the psychiatric system assembled in Whitehall, having applied to the seat of their pants injection plasters in the form of 2 crosses. We marched down Whitehall, past the Department of Health, past Parliament, past St Thomas's Hospital, culminating at the Imperial War Museum, the ex-site of Bedlam, where testimonies were heard and a rally was held. En route, we made peaceful, poignant and humorous gestures of defiance by bending over and mirroring back to the clinicians the disrespectful and humiliating treatment it imposes, sanctioned and facilitated by the state. I titled the campaign, Kiss It. A Valentine's card was hand-delivered to 10 Downing Street, bearing the Prime Minister's name. In true Cupid fashion, the card depicted a heart being penetrated by an arrow, but when the card was opened up, the heart became a bottom turned upside down and the arrow became a syringe. An accompanying message read, "Have a heart." The card was designed to prick the conscience of the government. I trust the Prime Minister did not miss the point. Apart from its obvious connotation, kiss it also conveyed kiss it better and kiss it goodbye. Kiss psychiatric assault goodbye. And the double X represented not only the message double-crossed, but simply wrong. If psychiatry does not rid itself of its inhumanity, I trust humanity will rid itself of psychiatry.
Smarties people are happy people. They smile all the time because they're feeling fine. Because it's Smarties time. What a lot I've got, Smarties.
Medication time.
I'm sorry.
This is lunacy. This is that little pig, isn't it? It's just, how can you take it seriously? Judy! Judy! I don't suppose you can remember the words of this lullaby, can you? Judy! Oh, hell. Oh, second time.
That's not it for a fact.
Try again.
Now that's enough of your questions, Eamon. Now open wide.
Oh, no, I won't.
Oh, yes, you will, you scamp.
Oh, no, I won't. Those are horrible pills. This is an horrible place. Professor Punch is an horrible bloke, and you're a horrible woman.
We've missed something out here. Because I go, you will, you will, you will.
No, you don't. That was before.
I've got written down, you will, you will, you will. Did I not do it there?
I'd rather have a full frontal lobotomy than a full frontal lobotomy. Well, I'd rather have a full frontal... Oh, shit. One more. Well, I'd rather have a full frontal... Oh, last time I'll look at read the words. Well, I'd rather have a full frontal lobotomy than a full... Well, I'd rather have a full front... Oh, fuck.
And you are?
My name is Aidan, actually.
Amen.
We start the... I've just off entirely. I'm sorry about this. I've got confused because I said actually and I shouldn't have said actually, and then I missed the Aidan at the end. Should we start again? I'm really sorry.